Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to do my introduction to Transcendentalism lesson plan with you. So here it is in 5 minutes or less. So, what does Transcendentalism mean? Essentially, it means that you take yourself beyond a typical physical limitation and you move yourself outside of your typical experience. This is probably the hardest concept to identify in the entirety of Transcendentalism. And you're going to become very familiar with two gentlemen, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. Um, this movement also takes place north of us in Massachusetts, but it is essentially a northeastern American concept that spread kind of throughout the country. But it started here. You get in your car and drive 6 hours, and you'll be at Walden Pond, which is where David Thoreau performs his transcendental experiment. Um, let's skip this. And we're going to go on to this. This slide essentially goes through the most difficult things to understand about transcendentalism. So to sum it up, here it is in a nutshell. Transcendentalists believe that everybody is good. They believe that we are born good and that society screws you up. And I think that that's probably one of the most interesting concepts of transcendentalism because it means that, these idea that serial killers and, other gross people are born that way is entirely incorrect if you're a transcendentalist. If you're a transcendentalist, you believe that these people were born good and something happened in their life that got screwed up. They also believe that humans and nature are constantly intermingled. And so, in order to get in touch with your deeper self, you have to go into nature. And so the weird things that come up in transcendentalism are kind of this feeling a kindred spirit with animals and feeling a kindred spirit with trees and grass and plants because transcendentalists believe that they're all connected. My major focus with transcendentalism is this slide. All right. I love my lists. I love my 5-part lists. So this is your 5-part list for transcendentalism. If you are a transcendentalist, you are the following 5 things. First, you are a nonconformist. This means that you do not follow the rules. You're not intentionally trying to hurt people. You're not blowing things up, but you don't follow the rules. Okay. My favorite story here is Henry David Thoreau went to Harvard. Everybody that went to Harvard wore a black jacket to mass on Sunday. He wore the darkest green jacket that he could find because he's a rule breaker. Kind of an a-hole, but also a rule breaker. And like that's nonconformity in a nutshell. You are self-reliant. You don't rely on anybody else but yourself, and you can stand up for yourself and you can exist in your own way without the help of anybody else. You are a free thinker. This means that other things don't control the way that you perceive the world around you. This is the messiest element of transcendentalism. It's also the one that's going to be the hardest for you guys to really identify. You have to be confident in order to be a nonconformist and self-reliant free thinker. Okay. So confidence hooks with all of the first 3 things. If you're not confident, then you aren't going to be able to break the rules. You aren't going to be able to think creatively and outside of the box. You also have to believe that nature is important, and you have to believe that we have a deep connection with nature as human beings. I'm going to ask you to do a lot of work with transcendentalism over the next week. I will know by Friday if you are really understanding these concepts. So I'll send you this assignment. I'll send you this PowerPoint that you can reference, and email me if you got questions. Talk to you guys soon.